Crowd behind them as they're looking at the flowers, joining many senior royals who have taken time to speak to the public, spend time with the public, and also have a look at that outpouring of love and grief that members of the public have been sharing over the past few days. That is the four of them. That's Prince William and Kate and Harry and Meghan, united in their grief, in shots which many have hoped for, and now can see those two brothers and their wives in Windsor taking time out to see members of the public. And we're looking at now, yet we're going to look at more of the flowers. I mean, Windsor has just been packed full of thousands of people along that long walk, with people wanting to share stories, to share their grief, to talk about the Queen, to leave those flowers. I guess, yes, for themselves, but also in the hope that some royals would come, they would see those flowers, they would take time to read those notes, as you can see now. Harry just bending over just now with Meghan and looking at
was here by the outside of Windsor Castle, but they had no idea that they were going to be seeing any royals, let alone four. Just before we went on air, Prince William released us. It's the first time that he
Okay, thank you so much for that, Amy. We're going to stay with these pictures for a little while, and we can see the magnitude of those flowers. That's what we can see now. As Amy said, thousands of flowers have been laid today from members of the public that have wanted to pay their respects to the Queen. I think a lot of people just wanted to be with each other in this moment in history, for moments like this, to see the princes, to see them with their wives, to see them taking a look at those flowers, taking a look at those messages of support, those outpourings of grief. And now we can be joined now by Chris Shipp once again. Chris, this is a moment that many people had hoped for, and it's wonderful just to be able to see.
You're absolutely right, and I think we can now say really in depth the Queen has been able to bring together two brothers who up until this point were barely speaking. Let's just remind ourselves that both Harry and Meghan were in the UK.
Tom, over the past few years, and have done very successfully. And this is exactly what Prince William and Kate are doing at the moment, and also Meghan and Prince Harry. That's exactly what they are doing too. They are greeting members of the public. It feels like, Chris, this is very much a new era in terms of what we are going to see going forward.
I mean, it's entirely possible that there's a lot of water that's gone under the bridge since Harry and Meghan left the royal family in 2020, and I think looking at these pictures, seeing them doing that sort of joint walkabout, if you like, is something quite remarkable. We haven't seen the two brothers do this for some considerable time, and we should also remember that when Prince William flew up to Balmoral on the news of the imminent death of his grandmother, the Queen, Prince Harry had to fly separately. As my understanding, he might have even had to have chartered his own plane in order to get up there. That kind of explains the rift that existed and still existed literally 2 days ago. On Thursday afternoon, before the announcement of the death of the Queen was made by Buckingham Palace. And here we are on Saturday evening looking at pictures of Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, alongside the new Prince and Princess of Wales. And we should perhaps remind ourselves again, the title Princess of Wales was one that Harry's and William and Harry's mother had, and we were told yesterday that the significance of that title was not lost on Kate when it was bestowed on her by the King yesterday. And think what that means for Harry as well, that his sister-in-law now carries the title that his late mother once had. I think there's so much symbolism, and looking at these pictures, I think a lot of people will feel mightily relieved that perhaps they found a path, perhaps they found a way to move forward together after all the acrimony that has happened behind the scenes.
Okay, Chris, what we're looking at now is pictures of Harry and Meghan, who are with members of the public now doing something very similar on the other side of the park to where William and Kate, Prince William and Kate are, where they are greeting members of the public. They are taking bunches of flowers. Interestingly, I think one of the security guards just asked Meghan if she wanted him to take the flowers away. And she says, no, it's fine, I will carry them. You know, because they are making their way down that path. They are greeting people, they are taking time talking to members of the public, not just rushing it through. They really are taking their time. I'm actually going to bring Penny Juna, who is a royal author, into this conversation, Chris, because she is with me at the moment. Penny, you're watching these pictures with me. How significant is this moment, do you think?
Well, I think this could be, you know, the gift that the sadness of the Queen's death could produce. My guess is that the Queen's dying wish, if she had one, would have been that her grandsons started talking to one another again, were friends with one another again. This has been the greatest tragedy in the royal family, I would have said, almost.
Reflecting that, he called the Queen Granny. He said that she was by his side for the best times of his life and also the saddest days. And he said it would be some time before the reality of this would be sinking in. He went on in that statement to say, my grandmother famously said that grief was the price that we pay for love. I'll honour her memory by supporting my father, the King, in any way I can. He released that statement just before he came out here, and now clearly not just supporting his father, but joined with Harry in what has been a very special moment today for the royal family.
Okay, what we're going to do right now is the atmosphere down there, Amy, that you've been talking about. I've been watching it now and it's incredible, but let's just see if we can just hear a little bit of that atmosphere so that people home can get a sense of it as well.